I wish to appreciate the opposition political parties and the groupings which have raised their voices against the sins and crimes that have and continue to be committed in this country by those who hold the responsibility to protect the rights of citizens. Voices against failure to effectively develop the economy, to ensure that we have a healthy population and to promote equitability between all the geographical regions, regions, and the different sections of our population. My new group must always focus on this. Where you see any defects or any inadequacies, highlight them with pleasure, highlight them emphatically. I have personally engaged in with the various political players and will continue to do that so that we find a mechanism of collaborating through which we can collectively tackle the challenges of governance of this country. Anyone who is here presenting any opposition group, this will continue to be my mission until the last day. Even when two of us come together, I regard it as an achievement.
I can fly.
My team and I are convinced that little, if any, will change. I want to quote Albert Einstein. He's widely credited for warning that doing the same thing over and over again and yet expecting the same results. That's a possible disease of many politicians who occupy especially for a very long time. You continue doing the same things over and over again, but expecting different results. I don't know how that is possible. Uganda, as we all know, has not had a successful multi-party democracy. Political parties have had this limited opportunity, I think limited is an understatement, to contribute positively to the process of governance. They remain weak, they lack institutional support, and have deliberately been denied a role in the transition to effective democratic politics. For the opposition parties, restrictions are imposed. We couldn't invite people here. Okay, COVID is here, but COVID could also be an excuse. Yes, for the opposition parties, restrictions are imposed on free participation as political dissent is criminalized in an attempt to maintain a monopoly of influence. Criminalized. If you say, I have another view, you qualify to go to Ruzira straight away. And it's done so easily. And all the people who are supposed to defend all of us take a sectarian approach and they treat you like a criminal. You can imagine. These are people who are supposed to defend all of us. Occupies the elite Ugandan. That's what occupies the elite Ugandan. Nariachi, where will I get a job? What will I eat tomorrow? Even when the country can fall on top of them, it matters that they have food on the table, even as the roof falls on the table. That's the typical leadership we have since qualified to have. That's what we have as of today. Our constitution, which I participated in making, I was a member of the Legal and Draft Committee, has been largely abused, amended unfairly, so that the original document, which took so long to research on, very little of it actually exists. I am on the record for having opposed the move to amend the Constitution to remove term limits, for which I was arrested, detained, and charged. I see many people telling me how I have been, yes, when it mattered, I stood up and put my position very clear. What I was advocating for then was for us to keep the promise we made to Ugandans in 1986 when we took power. Because the journey to democratize, develop this country seems to be a ship that is largely sinking.
It's possible.